night he drove to the graveyard and dug up her lifeless body. He then eagerly returned home, positioned the corpse in his bed, and after almost 40 years of celibacy, thusly began his first intimate acquaintance with the female gender. Geen found the corpse so sexually stimulating that he ended up eating parts of the body and making a waistcoat of the skin so he could wear it and become a woman whenever he wanted to.
Hello everyone, Liam, the Deaf Doom Metalhead, with a collection update. This time I'm talking about 3 labels in particular. One being Cavernous Records, the second being Grindfather Productions, and the third being Morbid Records over in Poland. So these are essentially all really heavy releases. You won't find anything else apart from the ultra heavy stuff in this update, and hence the the intro will be a bit more fun to kind of make it more brutal. Grabbing an invisible orange as I said that. So anyway, the first band is a 2020 release through Cavernous Records. Like I say, Chris at Cavernous Records is a great guy in the UK, putting out some amazing extreme metal for us plebs in the UK to get our hands on, because at the moment shipping to the UK is horrendous and I'm missing out on so many cool tapes that are getting put out in the States. This band's chucking out these EPs and stuff that they sound great, and then I look at the postage and it just ruins the deal instantly for me. So to see a UK label kind of bringing in some great stuff always helps. So this album was put out last year through Cavernous Records, and it's called That, and the album title is That. I can't pronounce it. They are from Belgium, I believe, and this was blindly bought when I put an order in with Chris, and I was not disappointed. So I saw the tag Funeral Doom, Death Doom. I thought I'm probably going to like that. Chris has got a good distro, and his label's very my cup of tea. Not all of it, but most of it. So I kind of gave this a chance, and I was not disappointed at all. This is killer. So underrated, it's unheard of. Like, I've never heard a band that sounds this good that I've never heard of before. Like, you're completely under my radar. And I don't know if this is their first ever release or not. I couldn't tell you, but from what I heard, it reminded me a lot of Solifus, the Finnish Death Doom band. But the guitar on this is fantastic. The melodies, the production, everything is top notch. And for a band I can't even pronounce the band name, or even the album cover, I don't even know if you can see it, with a sword and a cup and a key. It doesn't give anything away. Some lass on the back there as well, you can make out. Not a fan of the purple on black. But it is just brilliant. I can't highly recommend this enough. So if you can find a copy of this anywhere, strongly recommend it. You won't waste your time at all. It's really good. So that's that one. I wish I could pronounce the band name. Second one, well, these next 2 are from Cavernous Records. Distro, Chris, like I say, not only does he put out his own releases, he also stocks some rare stuff sometimes, especially in the UK, to get hold of. This is a 2021 compilation that came out at the end of January, I believe, and I believe this is a Japanese copy. I could be wrong though, but it's put out through Obliteration Records, and that is the new Coffins compilation. This features some of the EPs and loads of live footage and stuff like that, like recorded in the live room. 2 discs, and it's fantastic. I love Coffins, and I was kind of gutted when I first saw this come out because I thought I can't afford the postage for that, but then when I saw Chris stock it, I jumped on it straight away. We've got the 2 discs there, and the artwork is just killer on it. I love Coffins. Like I say, if you don't know who Coffins are, they are a death, doomy, crusty punk kind of band from Japan, and they're just brilliant. They churn out so many good albums. They're all very much in a certain style of the kind of crusty, punky kind of death doom, where it's very raw, very aggressive. There's very natural sounding. It's not overproduced, nothing like that. And when you listen to these live recordings as well, they don't sound too dissimilar from the actual EPs and stuff that are on here as well. And there's a cover as well from I Hate God. I think it's called Sister Fucker, something like that. But yeah, really good album. Go check that one out. And the last one came out last year as well, but I just didn't get around to buying it. I was going to get it on LP, but then I saw Cavernous Records distro had it. I just got it on CD. So this is Beast of Revelation with the album The Ancient Ritual of Death. This came out last year through, I think, Bonehead Productions. Yep. And what's cool about this is Dutch Death Doom featuring the original member of Asphyx, Bob Backus, the original guitar player for Beyond Belief, AJ Van Drenthe, who might have been in Asphyx at some point, but he's also in Throne and all other sorts of projects he's been involved in. But what's really cool is the vocals is none other than John McEntee from Incantation. So you get this really brutal Dutch Death Doom with Incantation vocals on it. So you kind of got the blend of both styles perfectly there. It's very slow, very chuggy, you know, but it is killer. 9 tracks, and I was not disappointed. I mean, again, another album cover where it's really hard to see, but there's some kind of beast coming out in like kind of smoky atmosphere there. But the production on this is fantastic. And if you like Asphyx, early Dutch Death Doom, and also Incantation, there's no reason why you won't like this. It's such a solid album. So that's Beast of Revelation. The next one are 2 cassettes I got from Grindfather Productions. I discovered that a couple of months ago. That's a distro here in the UK, and the guy his main focus on his label was grind, which I like, but I'm not a massive fan of grind because it has to be a certain style for me to enjoy it. So these 2 are imports that I didn't think I'd ever get, but then I saw this site stocking them and I just jumped on it. The first one, we'll go with this one. The first one is an American band that has a very, very similar name to a band that I've heard of before. This is Deconsecration with their, I believe this came out in 2020, an EP. It's like a demo they did. 4 tracks. But this one is I think this is a Czech pressing. So it comes on this really bright pink shell, which is pretty for Death Doom. But yeah, it came out through Psycho Productions, I believe it's called, the label, which I've never heard of before either. Get the J card out so you can see it there. So you've got the side bit there, lyrics inside there, and then a bit about the band there. But this is brilliant Death Doom. I mean, obviously being Deconsecration, I'm quite au fait with Death Doom myself, but I just thought it was really funny that the band name was Deconsecration. That was the only reason I heard of them, and then I saw Ken's Death Metal Crypt talking about it, and if Ken recommends anything, it's normally a winner for me. So I checked it out and it's fucking awesome, but I thought, I'm never going to get a hold of it. I'm not paying US shipping prices to get a 4-track EP. But then it popped up in here in the UK, so I jumped on it straight away. So I'm really happy with that. I'm just dipping my toe into cassettes now. I've got a tape player up there for a decent price, all refurbished on eBay. And it came with a manual that works, so I'm really happy with that. And now I just can't stop looking at cassettes online. But the problem is, all the American ones, they're really expensive to get over here. Like, I missed so many quality releases just purely because of the shipping, like I always moan about. But yeah, Deconsecration, definitely worth your time if you want some Death Doom. And the other one I got from him was through Extremely Rotton Productions, which is over in Denmark. I think the guy who runs that is also in all sorts of death metal bands like Hyperdontia. There's loads, I can't remember. But with this one, I've been trying to lose a bit of weight, and I've been doing lots of exercise to kind of brace for the COVID to stop, because I believe in May we're free and we're allowed to roam around the country again. But I've been doing, some yoga and all sorts of shit like that with the wife. Not the fun yoga that I want to do, the serious yoga. But this is 6 minutes long. This whole EP is 6 minutes long, and it's great for me. I have to get up, flip the tape, get up, flip the tape. It's that good. It's really good. And that is Americans Torture Rack with their 2021 release, Pit of Limbs. Like I say, it came out through Extremely Rotten Productions, and this is fucking awesome. Really, really good. So simple, but it's so heavy, it's so catchy, it's ridiculous. I mean, you've got 4 tracks on there again, but it's 6 minutes long. So you have to kind of flip it around every single time. And it's just hilarious. I just can't get enough of it. It's brilliant. I didn't realise it was that short when I bought it, but you know, I don't actually care. I just saw the hype and jumped on it. So there is the J card, the inside. Shadowy picture of the band, looking really menacing, as you should do in a band photo. And yeah, I can't recommend this enough. It's so heavy, but it's only 6 minutes long. And I just keep wanting more and more and more. So if there's anything else by these guys, let me know in the comments below, because I'm very, very impressed with how heavy this was. I mean, the album cover kind of caught my attention, but it's fucking relentless. It's so good. So yeah, Torture Rack with Pit of Limbs, and that's through Grindfather Productions. And the last one is Morbid Chapel Productions over in Poland. That is a label that's doing me massive favours by putting out these releases, because they're all stateside ones, majority of them anyway. So I've got 3 CDs to show you. 2 of them are American, well, one's Canadian, one's American, and one's from Estonia, of all places. So we'll start off with the American one. These Florida boys are doing some really, really good Death Doom at the moment. Slimy, as you would expect from Florida, and that is the band Wharflurch. This is Lurking Doom. What's cool, it features the demo from 2019 as bonus tracks. Put out through Rotton Records and Morbid Chapel Records. I first heard of the guys through Ken's Death Metal Crypt Again. I looked online, and originally when I went to try and buy this from the States, I think the shipping came to over $150, something ridiculous like that, for 1 CD. So I looked, and someone commented, who I'm friends with, said, go check out Poland's Morbid Chapel Records, they stock it there, they do their own version of it. I was like, never heard of that label, go check it out. I'm going to discover all this magical music through them. And this was high on my want list after so many people were talking about it. I put it on, it's brilliant. If you like Morbid Angels Where the Slime Lives, they kind of borrow from that formula, from the Domination style, but it's very unique sounding. You know, they've got such good riffs. The production kind of very lo-fi in some parts, and it's very heavy. And I really like the demos as well, they sound killer. I actually might prefer them more than the actual EP. But yeah, really liking these guys at the moment. They're doing so much over in the States release-wise, they just can't get hold of it over here. So I've got my eyes firmly on them getting a full length for maybe a vinyl release or something cool like that. So Wharflurch is the first one. Now this band, I believe, have already split up. This came out in 2019 or 2020. I think it's 2020. Band's from Estonia. They're a young band, well they were a young band I believe, and the riffs on this are ridiculous. The band is Coffin. And the EP is called a Nailed Into the Coffin. Sorry. It's just so riffy. I mean, if you like Metallica's Ride the Lightning, there's massive nods to that, especially the track For Whom the Bells Toll. Go check out the track Legal Genocide, which I'll link below. There's some massive nods to the riffs on that. This is just really natural sounding. It's all recorded in a live rehearsal room. So you got that kind of raw, natural sound, which I really, really like. If it's done well, you know, I can really listen to it. Some bands record it and it sounds crap, but this sounds spot on. I've been jamming this on my Spotify playlist for absolutely ages, but finally now I've got a copy of it. There is the band. I don't believe they exist anymore though. Apparently they're split up, but they're young dudes. And for a band from Estonia, I don't have that too many of them in my collection, if any actually. I think this might be the first one from that part of the world. But this was a limited edition release, released to 500 copies. I believe the only other release they have is a live cassette, which is only 37 copies of. But yeah, Coffin is well worth your time, because it's so simple yet so heavy. It's very, very catchy. And it's, you know, brilliant, brilliant music. And the last one is a Canadian one-man death metal band. I think it's one man. I know the guy who writes all the music purely does everything. It's got a drum machine, but you can't tell it has a drum machine unless you have the key ear for it to pinpoint it out. But sometimes you hear a drum machine, you just know straight away. But that is the band Fumes. This is a 2021 release. Assemblage of Disgust. I believe these are demos. But what I liked about Fumes, I mean, I got the split with Thorns through Cavernous Records not too long ago. But this release here is all about them, and it's very technical, deathy doom. It does a lot of different things on the guitar, a lot of tapping, syncopated riffs, sweeps, you know, there's all sorts of stuff going on in there. It's very technical, and watching his videos online, I've been playing through some of the riffs. You can see he has too much time on his hands and writes some ridiculous riffs. Hence why it's a one-man project, because I think if anyone else was in the band with him, they'd just get fed up trying to learn the riffs. It's ridiculous. But I really like these guys. I mean, this is the reason I put the order in, really, to kind of get this CD as well. And the band is, these are all lyrics inside the book there. And there's some more artwork on the back there. But the band, I believe, is just, like I said, the guitar guy, and then you've got a guy doing the vocals. Daniel is the guy who does the guitar, bass, drumming, drum programming, shall I say. And then he's got a chap called Brendan doing vocals, and there's a picture of them in the inside tray there without seeing my face on it. There you go, you can see it. So yeah, really cool release. I mean, the favourite track on here for me would have to be hands down number 4, Stagnant and Deteriorating. That is brutal. Like that to me was just like, it's really heavy. I'll put a link below if I can find a stream of it. It's really good, like, really heavy. Just I've jammed that song loads since I listened to it. Anyway, thank you for listening to this collection update and watching it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and liking this video. I've got another collection update of vinyl to do, and then I'll probably do another video, probably showing my top 10 favourite albums, maybe, or something similar in that vein. And then we should then roll up to the competition draw for the 500 subs contest I did. Thank you to everyone so far that sent a video in. There's been some hilarious jokes on there, and some proper obscure album covers that did make me laugh quite a bit. So you haven't got involved yet, I will leave a link above my head now so you can check that out and know what I'm talking about. And until then, please take care, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers!